Hello, good morning, welcome back to Space Engineers on the Xbox One. I've been experimenting with something that people may find useful, and I certainly will as I go forward with some of my other builds. I wanted to see if I could connect two rotors together, because if you've ever tried to build a door or a line of blocks with rotors, you know one thing about rotors: they can be a little, let's get this flipped the right way, tricky to get the second rotor to connect. I saw Paul on YouTube mention this on a comment on one of my videos, and so I went off and I had to think, and I talked to some of my other friends in the Space Engineers community, and I think I have a method to get rotors to line up. So first of all, you build your two rotors. We're on creative in one of my saves to save time, and we grind off the head. That's important. We leave the head on this one, and then, because I'm in creative, I can build in line mode. And you'll see that you can't quite get that to line up. What you can do though is you can pull this first rotor back on the rotor displacement. The easiest way to do this when you're in the control panel for the rotor is to hold down both bumpers, tap left twice, and it will go all the way back very quickly without having to hold the control. Now that should give us enough room to do what I want to do next, which is add a rotor part. Make sure the rotor part is facing the correct way, and pop that in there. Now you can attach that rotor head to this rotor and it will work. What you really want to do though is make sure you've set your spacing up first on your primary rotor. This is the rotor that's going to be doing the lifting. The secondary rotor doesn't need to be powered, but if it is, then you're going to have to change its angle for it to work. I'm going to show you with the rotor unpowered though. So first of all, we pop the rotor displacement, hold down both bumpers, center it, and then hold down the left bumper and push right until you're happy with where it is. That's probably too far. You probably want it at about 1, to be honest. Get it as close as I can. There we go. Gives us a nice little space there. You got a nice little space there. Now what will happen is if I now go to the control panel again, remember, build yourself a little panel on your rotor to make it easier. Go to rotor 2, go down to attach. Now that bar is attached to that rotor. And it'll work. If I turn rotor 2 off by highlighting it, pressing X, and I change the velocity on rotor 1, let's rack it up all the way. There you go. As you can see, you actually have a nice spinning bar between two rotors, And those rotors are connected. So if you decide you want to build that gun turret that I did in my one video, you could now, instead of just for symmetry's sake, actually have another rotor on that side connected up between the two. You might have to mess around with the distances to get it right. And one of the things you can do as well is if you push the left rotor's distance out too far, and when you connect this rotor with the attach head and that end pops out, it should still be close enough to the primary rotor for you to go back into the control panel and hit attach again, and it should pull the whole thing back correctly. Basically, so to recap, turn that one off because I don't need it. All you need to do, excuse me, is get rid of the rotor head on your second rotor, and ensure you have this rotor here. Build your blocks all the way across, pull that rotor back, which is already pulled back, build a rotor part. Now I'm going to see if I can actually get it to pop out. It may or it may not. So let's push. Let's be daring. Push the right rotor forwards as far as we can. Sorry, the left rotor even. Into the right rotor. And then let's see what happens if we then tell the second rotor to attach. Lo and behold, that actually worked even better. So you might get away with pushing that all the way forwards, then telling that to attach, and it almost equalises the distance between the two rotors. It's near as nothing. That is pretty cool. Like I said, if it does pop out, which happened to me the first time I tried this, and I'm not sure why, you can reattach it, and when I did that, it reattached perfectly and lined up. But to ensure that it works, just do that. And things will work out fine. Once more. Dead simple. All down to rotor displacements. If I remember rightly, the original distance on a rotor is about 4.5. You could hold the right bumper down as well and tap the D-pad. It's really good at getting the distance you want. 4.5. Get some more blocks out again, just to finally repeat once more. Pull it all the way to the end. Yeah. And you might even get away without even needing to pull the rotor part back by the look of it, so you can speed up the process even more. Put your rotor part in, and then just to prove it wasn't a fluke, touch the head. Boom. Slightly closer on this rotor now compared to the far rotor, so you can mess around with the rotor displacements to your heart's content. And there you go. A happy spinning line of blocks that you could use as part of a doorway or another device in Space Engineers on the Xbox One. Or just make something look nice and symmetrical if you've got a rotating gun turret. Hopefully you found that useful. I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, happy engineering, enjoy the game. There's lots more to come. I'm looking forward to seeing what Keen delivers next, and eventually when Sparks of the Future does land on the Xbox One, we should be able to play around with hinges and get some proper VTOL engines going without the need for scripts or anything like that. Exciting times. Bye for now.